It's the same reason why white people are called white, although they are more of a pinkish beige, and red foxes are called red, although they are really ginger. Very few black people are actually black, especially the Nilotics, but on the whole, there are more blacks than most other groups, just as red foxes are more red than gray foxes. And it's the same reason why all the obviously gray animals are called blue. Well, first of all, while most people aren't truly white or even close to it, some of them are even. Both of these people appear to be white, for example, and yet one of them is much whiter than the other, speaking poorly in terms of skin tone alone. But terms like black and white are social constructs that emerged in the New World, as in the Americas. Black is a very important identity marker for both Black Africans and African American of the modern world. At the early stages of colonization of the Americas, numerous people from different backgrounds migrated into the continent. Africans captured from different parts of West and Central Africa went there as slaves. Europeans from countries as diverse as Ireland, England, Netherlands, France, and Portugal all made their way into America as well. As the societies of the Americas coalesce and people forget their original culture, new forms of identities were created to classify people living in the New World. This creation of identities principally considered the ones of the most dominant group of people at the time, the whites. The most obvious way of dividing people at the time was skin color. It was chosen not just because it was the visible differences among Americans, but because it reflected someone's status in American society. In the United States, identities based on skin color were used as a method of segregating African Americans from the rest of the people. And why do African people called black, although they have identities that differentiates between them, such as tribes and ethnicities? It is because of American blacks came from Africa. The world speaks English as a lingua franca. Most of the early contact of English speakers and African blacks who eventually adopted and contributed to the language was made in America. Thus, speaking English naturally makes you associate Africa with black people. It should be remembered that the United States is the most dominant power in the world. People around the world view assertions made in United States in one form or another as an accepted definition of things. A Pakistani person most likely obtain information about how to perceive a certain group of foreign people from America, as he or she does not obtain that information from the people themselves. Therefore, addressing Africans based on their skin color, apart from its conveniences, shows how Western ways of thinking has influenced the world. However, let us not forget that the term black contains in it the aspirations of a certain group of people who had historically faced segregation, exploitation, oppression, slavery, and colonization to a common brighter future. For this reason, it is a very important identity marker not only for American blacks but for all African people of black skin. Black is not just a skin color as some people may think. Yet, as I said above, the term has Western origin and was a result of interactions between Africans and other group of people. However, there are various groups of African people who are not related ethnically or linguistically, but English speakers are labeling them as black, such as the Kushites from Northeast Africa, in which they speak an Afro-Asiatic language, in which majority of them have amber brownish skin. The Nilotics from the Nile Basin who speak a Nilo-Saharan language, whose majority of them have jet black skin. The Khoisan people from southern Africa who speak Khoisan languages have golden tannish skin. And the Bantus and the Niger-Congo people from west and southeastern Africa whose majority of them have dark brown skin. And all these African people are labeled as black, although they have diverse unrelated cultures, genetics, and histories. The funny thing is this, there are also a lot of people with similar skin color living outside of Africa and who are not labeled as black, such as the majority of South and Northeastern Indian people and the dark Southeast Asian people such as the Negritos. And in Australia, the Aborigines are also called black, although they are 1,000 kilometers from Africa. To conclude this, black people as a race or an ethnicity does not exist. It is just a social construct in the minds of today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this video. Subscribe to my channel to help me help you understand humans. Thank you very much and I will see you next time.